Hello guys, Leaf here. Welcome back to another character review slash character custom builds kind of guide. It's a Fire Emblem Heroes series that I've been meaning to do, and I'm just slowly trying to cover most of the the more popular characters or characters that I generally like a little bit more, I guess. So this is the second video in the series, and it's going to be about Ninian. The reason I'm doing this now is because she is a season bonus hero at the time of this recording, and she will be the bonus unit all the way throughout this week and perhaps next week as well. So I just feel like maybe it's good to cover her before I do some of the other characters. She's a pretty good unit as well, so may as well. So she is a character from Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade. I believe it's available on it's the first Fire Emblem games that's come out in North America, I believe, and in English, and it's available for purchase on Game Boy Advance. That's her origins, like the game. She is so in this video I'll be covering her stats, her role in the game, in the fights, strength and weaknesses, arena threats, like things that could destroy her, units that synergize well, and then we'll go over some skills and build ideas. I don't think there's any like ultimate super build that's crazy perfect in every single way, but there are definitely some builds that are better than others. So we'll take a little bit a look see when it comes to it, when we get to that part. So with that being said, let's get started. So alright, so these are her neutral stats. So her neutral HP would be 42, and the boons and banes would be -3 or +3 to any of these stats, except for the attack, I think. So what I mean by that is, if you have a attack boon Ninian, she won't have +3 attack off the neutral, like 40 attack. She will have I believe it's +4, so you'll actually have 41 attack at max level right off the bat if you stick with Light Breath Plus. So that's pretty good. Although I think she is more of a defensive support unit, so attack isn't really her strong suit. In fact, she has rather significantly low attack, comparatively speaking. It's one of her lower stats compared to other units out there who you might want to choose to be your team's source of damage over Ninian. What Ninian excels in is her her kind of bulky stats in the defensive department and resistance department, especially her speed. Her speed allows her to not get doubled by pretty much most units in the game. She's very hard to double, and she is definitely able to take one hit, and she can actually take 2 hits, I believe, no problem. Just not against green units. So, but that goes without saying. Most of these guys in this game, unless you're Hector, you really don't want to be taking damage from the color that you're weak against, because you're gonna take extra damage and you're gonna die really fast. But if you don't do that, she is actually able to take 2 hits pretty well, usually, unless you have a defense or resistance bane. The best boons for her would be speed or defense, or alternatively, if she has a little bit more HP, it would be a little bit more sustainable as well. The other stuff you can get if you put Fury on her, but you don't get more HP. So having more HP as a boon is definitely worthwhile as well. Perhaps the best Bane on her, I do have a Ninian with minus attack. I might be a little bit biased, but I would have to say that minus attack is probably the better Bane for her. Other than that, resistance would probably be pretty okay, because depending on your speed, if you're not gonna get doubled by magic users, you can probably take a hit and still survive. And because she's already got some naturally high resistance. Yeah. The best boon. I already covered that. Yep. Well, yeah. I guess that's it for the stats, really. So I would say that if you have a neutral speed sort of Ninian, definitely give her a little bit more speed, give her a little bit more defense kind of thing. Maybe not focus on her attack as much, because she is more of a defensive support unit, so perhaps leave that role to the other 3 party members who can probably be doing that job a little bit better than she can. So as I was just getting to it, I was just gonna get to her role in all this. So here we go. So her role is a dancing support character. What dance does is it gives your allies a extra turn on that same turn by sacrificing your own turn, which is amazing, because if any of your units need a second turn, maybe like a hit and run tactic, say you have maybe I don't know, what's a good example? I say Ninian's blue, so she can tank reds no problem unless they're Falcion users. So say you have a guy that's weak against red units, but so you have a green character, and then you just killed off a blue unit, but now with the blue unit gone, you're in range of attack for the red unit that the enemy has, so you're gonna have to get the hell out of there. So what you can do is you can get Ninian to dance for that character, and that character can just get the fuck out of there. Especially if Ninian's got below 50 HP or maybe at 50 HP, she can still take that one hit from a red character. So she is definitely a viable off tank, as I've listed here as well. Other than that, yeah, dancers are generally, because they're so support based, you can put buff stuff on them. So what I mean is things like hone attack or hone speed, hone defense, and hone resistance. There's a little bit of a mage meta going on right now in the arena, so I would say hone defense and hone resistance. What the hell? What I mean is fortify resistance and fortify defense. So you might want to do fortify resistance, but I generally find that boosting attacks is a better way to be defensive, really, because usually if if they're dead, they're not there to do the damage to you, so it's kind of defensive by being offensive. So yeah, it kind of works, but it depends on your situation and depends on your playstyle. What I would suggest is spur attacks more over hone attack. The reason for that is because of her teleporting ability, like her escape route. So once you so what hone attack does is it gives you that buff at the start of the turn. But if you're teleporting, then you're doing it in the middle of your turn, so you're not gonna get that hone attack buff if you do it mid-turn and teleport to your ally and then dance with them. But if you have spur attack, you can teleport to them, give them the spur attack on that turn, like the moment you land next to them. So that's really good. So I would consider spur buffs over hone stuff. Yeah. So I was kind of just rambling there, but it seems like I've put them down here as notes anyways. So yeah, I just explained why, and let's move on to the next part, which is her strength and weaknesses. So I kind of want to speed this up a little bit more, because the last video I did for Lucina ended up being like something like an hour, which is not ideal. Anyways, let's get back to it. Strength and weaknesses. So as I've said many times in this video already, she is quite bulky. She's hard to one-round KO. In fact, I would say even Falcion users would probably have a hard time one-round KOing her, because there is no Dragon Breaker ability right now, and you can't really double Ninian, especially if you have a fast Ninian with high speed. Her speed goes really high, something like 39 or 40, 41 something. It's not impossible for Ninian. So definitely characters will find it very hard to naturally double attack her. Sure, they can do it with I don't know, certain abilities like well, there's no Dragon Breaker, so can't do it with that, but things like Brash Assault. So if an enemy unit has below 50% HP and they have Brash Assault, they can attack you and then they can double attack you once again, kind of thing, because it's an ability that allows them to double attack without reliance on speed. Brave Lance users can double attack you, but I don't think they will kill you. There are no Brave Sword users, I believe, out there. Not really anyways. I've it's really rare. Sword users in the arena are generally Falcion users, and like I said, Falcion is strong against dragons, which Ninian is, but I think they have to attack you twice to be able to get the KO. Otherwise, they're not gonna do it. Especially because Ninian's a blue dragon, so she's got the color advantage. But yeah, if you go even further with that, if you decide to put Triangle Adept on her, then it makes it even harder and potentially suicidal for the Falcion users to even attack her if she has high enough attack, because Ninian's attack's not too high, but what she does is magic damage, so she will do damage to the opponent's resistance stat, which if they're a Falcion user, they are in melee range, and melee characters tend to have subpar resistance. So I believe Lucina would probably die if she tried to attack Ninian, because yeah, her resistance is not too great. Yeah, anyways, she is a viable off tank until 50% HP, which is when her teleportation shenanigans kicks in, and she is able to teleport to any teammate and give them extra turns while buffing them. It's just so good. Dats and Sing are probably one of the best, if not the best, support abilities. They go especially well with Drawback, because you can do like an infinite loop of hit and run against melee units if you manage to pull it off. If the map is in your favor and you're able to do that, yeah. It's just really good, and giving your units an extra turn out of nowhere, and being able to teleport once you're at 50% HP, and with Escape Route 3, which you want to keep on her unless you're going for some other crazy builds. I believe it's one of the best skills on her actually. But we'll get to that part in a bit when I talk about the skills that you can set up with her. And so let's move on. The next part is pretty short. It's basically units that synergize well with her. And units that synergize well with her, I would say pretty much everybody in the whole game, other than maybe other dancers and singers, because you can't dance and sing to other dancers or singers. And otherwise, everybody else would synergize pretty well with a dancer or a singer, especially if they knew how to teleport, and especially if they give buffs. Blue is actually one of the better colors in the arena right now because there is a red meta going on, and you know, red meta, mage meta. But yeah, blue generally speaking is quite good in the arena right now. Because yeah, lots of Falcion users and they're red, and if anyone's gonna be a dragon and live through a Falcion hit, it's gonna be a blue dragon with good bulk. So yeah, let's see. Oh right, yeah. I put down here that you know, just some people might want to do like some crazy offensive build for Ninian. But I'm making this guy with sort of more of a objective kind of point of view, because I see her as best suited for a defensive oriented support class hero that's not meant to be in much combat. But with skill inheritance being a thing, you can definitely make her into that vantage, lightning breath, counter everything dragon with swordbreaker and I don't know, crazy stuff like that. But I wouldn't recommend it because there are better units suited for that task. Naoi's a good unit. Like, she's a blue dragon. She has higher natural attack, especially if you get her, you know, even her neutral attack is higher than a Ninian with an attack boon, and she has better bulk. So, but just lower speed really. But yeah, no, I wouldn't go for an offensive build with Ninian, which is not to say that you can't, but it's just there's better units in the game suited for that task. Note that dance and sing abilities cannot be inherited to other characters, so they are one of a kind. Other heroes can fill those DPS and tanking roles, but dancers and singers, nobody's gonna fill their role. So this is why I would not make her, you know, a offensive kind of build in mind. Keep in mind that if you do want a offensive dancing, singing kind of character on your team, Azura is probably a better bet. Her attack is extraordinarily high. Her bulk is a little bit less compared to Ninian, but then she does not have that Falcion weakness, and she is also blue, and she does a ton of damage, especially because she has the Sapphire Lance, which is a pretty good weapon for her because she will tank reds very, very well. She does die to Brave Lance users though, so anyways, we'll talk about that in a different guide, I guess. I don't want to stray too much off topic. So with that being said, let's move on to the next part, which is the skills part. Okay, so right off the bat, we have her assist ability thing, assist skill. I do not see any reason that you would want to sort of replace dance. Like you can do like drawback or pivot and all that stuff, but why? Yeah, I think just keep dance, man. Just keep it. If you're using Ninian, you're probably using her for dance, so keep that. For her weapon choices, we do have the Light Breath Plus, which is her default weapon. It's pretty good. It gives, I believe, +4 defense and resistance to your adjacent allies, which is usually kind of hard to pull off because I don't know, when I use my units to attack, I'm usually going in, and these adjacent allies, there's not much of them. You know, it's very situational. But given Ninian's teleport ability, if you have a ranged unit doing range damage to another ranged unit, she can teleport between your ranged unit and the enemy ranged unit and do her melee range damage while giving your ranged unit some buff, which is quite good. So this works especially well if you have one of the magic users that use the blade magic, because they get a massive boost in damage, because all the stat bonuses that they get will get added to their damage. So they will get +4 defense, +4 resistance, which means they get +8 damage in their magic. So definitely something to consider. It's also you know, the easiest and laziest of choices, because I don't believe Ninian's gonna be getting a lot of SP, because I don't know, she has a hard time KOing opponents. It might just because of my own Ninian being a minus attack, but I don't know. I generally find you have to soften the enemy quite a bit before she is able to get in there and do the finishing blow. So in a combat situation like in the arena where everybody's like all muscly beefcakes, you definitely don't want to try and tickle them with your little inferior damage kind of thing. I don't know, but this could change if you put some stuff like Triangle Adept on her though. If you do decide to put Triangle Adept on her, then she will be a viable counter to reds, except that, you know, they will Falcion, so you don't exactly counter them, but you just not die to them as much. But you know what, I reckon you can still take them out probably. Yeah, so I believe that the best ability for her for slot B is definitely Escape Route, but if you want to be some crazy sword counter guy because you hate Falcion with a passion, then put Swordbreaker on her. I don't recommend this, but yeah. So anyways, we're doing this. I'm kind of doing this out of order actually. I would not put Triangle Adept on her actually. Myself, I put you know, I'd probably put Armored Blow, because if you attack and you know, when you initiate an attack, you get the +6 defense, which makes her extra bulky, and she can live through the counter attack, which is quite good because it gets her closer to that 50% sweet spot where she can teleport. Also, if you're low on speed, definitely work on her speed a little bit, because you do not want to get doubled. Otherwise, if your speed's okay, you might consider defense, or you could just be a little bit lazy and just go with Fury 3. Okay, so yeah, what this does is it gives your all your stats other than HP a +3 boost, but then you suffer 6 damage after combat, which you shouldn't really be in combat in the first place. So it's pretty good. So this works when this works as a good means of defense, because inevitably sometimes you're going to be finding yourself in a situation where you have to take the hit because your allies are gonna, you know, because, you know, shitty positioning, or maybe just your allies are low on HP or some crazy bullshit's happening. You're gonna find yourself taking a few hits, ideally not more than 2 hits. But if you're finding yourself in a position to take hits, then Fury is very good because it boosts your attack, boosts the speed, and I mean this in a defensive way. If you have that high speed, they can't double you, which, you know, makes you take less damage, so it's very good defensively. It gives you 3 defense, so if they're sorting you up, cutting you up, and, you know, cutting you close up like a shish kebab or whatever, it's gonna be pretty good because you got that +3 defense, meaning they're gonna do that little bit less damage to you. Or if they're mages and they're throwing lightning bolts at you or whatever, or just shooting fireballs, then you got that +3 resistance as well. So yeah, the 6 damage post combat, like it says in the skill description, comes post combat and it cannot actually kill you. So yeah, I would probably rather take the post combat damage rather than taking, you know, way more damage in the combat, because they're doubling me with like, and I have no defense or resistance or anything like that. But yeah, I believe, you know, Outblow, Triangle, Adept, and Fury, or Speed or Defense, the more viable slot A skills for her. But feel free to, you know, give out some suggestions if you guys have some. And moving on, for the slot B ability, I would definitely go for Escape Route 3. This is what makes her kit work, because she has bulk. She can get to that 50% HP threshold without much of a risk of, you know, being overkilled. She has, I believe, 43 HP, was it? At neutral stats. So that means, you know, so alright, so she's got 43 HP on neutral HP thing. But Azura is another singer dancer kind of thing. Her neutral HP is 36. Her defensive stats are a little bit lower than Ninian's, with the exception of, well, her defense is lower but her resistance is higher kind of thing. But 36 HP, that's crazy, man. It really makes a difference. Yeah, 43 versus 36, both at neutral. So if you get that HP boon, then yeah, it's yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just it's less risky to get her down to 50% HP and for her to be teleporting around, because she's not gonna be doing too much damage anyways, unless you drew a attack plus Ninian. But I don't know. I still wouldn't leave the damaging side of things to Ninian myself, because like I was saying for the longest time, that there's better units suited for that task. So yeah, I would keep Escape Route on her, but if you're thinking of doing something crazy, not crazy, but just doing something else, like you want to be out there, you want to be a little bit of a, you know, risk taker kind of guy, you can go for Desperation 3. She will definitely get to that range, no problem. Takes one hit, won't die. She'll be in Desperation range. She has really high speed. She'll be able to double attack pretty much everybody in the game. Well, not like, obviously not the 41 speed crazy guys, but most characters she'll be able to double, especially if you have a speed boon Ninian. Her speed will go up to, what's it? I think 39 or some crazy bullshit. So yeah, you can double a lot of characters. And Desperation, what that does is, if your character is below 75% HP, and you are able to double attack your opponent due to your speed being 5 higher than your opponent's, then you will do both your attacks before the enemy is able to launch their counter attack. So ideally, you've done your 2 attacks and they're dead and not there to do the counter attack, which is the ideal scenario. But yeah, okay, so moving on. Vantage, you could have Vantage on her, but if I was to have Vantage on her, I believe Vantage goes hand in hand with stuff that does you know, like, oh, if you can attack long range, and if you can counter attack long range, and if you can counter attack short range, you know, both ranges, then Vantage works really well, because what's inevitably gonna happen is that you may get attacked by, you know, the like if you're a melee unit and you have Vantage, just might get shot by an archer, and if you're an archer and you have Vantage, might get slapped in the face unless you're Takumi, because he's got close counter. But yeah, stuff like that. Oh, well, the other thing about Vantage is ideally the character with Vantage is able to attack both close and long range, both counter attack both close and long range, and ideally be able to do significant amount of damage in return as well. So that is not Ninian. Her attack is quite low, which is why I do not recommend this. But if you really want it, you know, this could work. Personally, if you were to put Lightning Breath on her because you hate Takumis a lot and you just wish Takumis would die because I don't know, like, because you've seen so much of them and they always kill your guys, and you're like, oh man, fuck, you're breaking my win streak, so you kill one of my guys, not good, man. Then what you want to do is maybe have I don't have it here, but you could put Bow Breaker on her, and then what that would do is Takumi shoots her, she's like, ouch, and then she goes and doubles them, and because she does magic damage and Takumi has really low resistance, Takumi gonna be dead. So yeah. Otherwise, if you don't do Bow Breaker, because that's really specific, like oh man, just Bow Breaker just for Takumi, you know, or for that Klein guy. But yeah, otherwise you could do this one. This one will work for not just Takumis, but anybody that attacks you at when your HP is rather high. So keep in mind my skill B pick would still be Escape Route. So yeah. But these are just some alternatives that you could have there if you're like really pissed off and you want to spend the time to grind for the SP. But yeah, you could have this one, which what it does is if your HP is above a certain threshold and people attack you, then you're gonna double attack them regardless of your speed. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I would not really I don't like putting these automatic double attack skills on characters with like naturally high speed anyways, so I don't know, it just feels like a little bit of a waste. But yeah, anyways, moving on, I want to keep Escape Route there because that is my pick for the slot B skill. Just had to take a breather. Okay, moving on, slot C is so I believe what comes to mind is stuff like Hone Attack, but as I mentioned in earlier parts of the video, Spirit Hone Attack takes activates at the start of the turn. So if you're doing your teleporting dancing shenanigans, that moment that you teleport to your ally, it's not gonna take effect that one turn. So if you're doing the teleporting dancing stuff, then you might want to consider using Spirit Attack instead, because what this will do is once you teleport to that guy that you want to dance to on that turn, you know, during the middle of the turn, like immediately when you land right next to them, it will take effect, unless you dance them and move them out of range. Then, yeah. But if what's happening is you're dancing to them and just for that extra hit, you know, if you're dancing to them just for that extra hit without them moving or like running around the place, then spur attack is generally a little bit better if especially comboed with escape route, since you have so much movement choice. Alternatively, you know, a lot of these skills come in batches. Like I believe these guys go really well together. So alternative, yes, I'm using Photoshop for this. It's kind of weird, but I think it works well, so why not? Anyways, a lot of these things come in batches. So like you can see that I put Breath of Life here. So what this does is when you engage in combat and you come out of the combat alive, all adjacent allies will gain 7 HP healed. Like you'll heal them for 7 HP after combat. Adjacent allies, that is. So what this would mean is if you're below 50% HP and you teleport to one of your weak allies and you attack on that turn and you stay alive, your ally is going to get that 7 HP heal, which if you're gonna do that, I suggest you put Armored Blow on there instead of Fury, which is gonna get you killed. Or Triangle Adept, because it's a very situational thing. If you're versing red units, then no problemo, but if you're not, then problem. Yeah, like there will be problems. Likewise, I put down Threaten Speed, Threaten Attack, and Threaten Resistance. If you're not confident in your Ninian speed, the thing about these abilities is they kick in at the start of the turn, and they also require a little bit of positioning, which is like, you know, the boring move around real slowly kind of positioning tactics, not the whole have fun, teleport everywhere you like kind of tactic stuff. So essentially, if you manage to position yourself correctly, then these are essentially speed boosts or attack boosts or damage boosts. I mean, defense boosts, I mean. What am I talking about? So for everybody who's gonna be participating in that fight. So yeah, it's definitely worth considering, especially if you are unfortunate and landed yourself a minus speed Ninian. You may unfortunately have to resort to Threaten Speed for your C ability, but it's okay, you know. Yeah, like, she's not meant to be in fights, and her, even with a Speed Bane, she'll still be pretty hard to be doubled, especially if you put Speed Plus on her. And yeah, it's yeah. So for C ability, with that being said, still, if you want to make the most of her teleporting stuff, if that's what you're going for, I don't mean that you must go into every fight with the idea to put yourself down to 58% HP instantly, but if you want to play around that, then Spur Attack is a good one to have. But if you want to be avoiding combat completely and really giving buffs to your team, you know, just giving buffs like to multiple characters in your team at the start of each turn, then Hone Attack might be better. But because I don't know, I just find that the escape route thing works so great on her, why change it? Plus the SP grinding is really an issue for somebody that has a hard time KOing. So yeah, if you have a plus attack Ninian, then well, this is where your Ninian will shine. You will be able to get a lot of SP, a lot quicker, and you'll be able to have all these good choices faster. So anyways, we should probably talk about her other weapon. It's kind of going out of order, but I just realized, hey, I got this up here and I haven't talked about it. So Dark Breath. This one comes from a female Corrin, and why this is so good is because it gives the enemy not plus, what the hell, that's buffing the enemy, -6 attack and -6 speed. It gives the enemy that you attack or engage in combat with, and also enemies 2 spaces within that enemy's sort of area. That's incredible. That means they essentially are not going to be doubling you, like not with -6 speed and with your crazy high speed. Even if they do double you, they're gonna do 6 less damage, which is insane. It's basically a really good stay alive tool. Like, I've already lived that one. Like, oh man, I was in combat just now. Like, I just took a hit. Oh man, I'm worried if I could take another hit, I might die or something like that. But if you do this, no, you can take that next hit, no problem. They'll be weakened attack wise, and they won't be able to do much damage because you're already pretty bulky, you're really fast, and you just basically screwed up their attack and speed, and they can't really follow up with a killing attack thing. So yeah, that's pretty good, unless they're green, in which case you're fucked. So yeah, well, you'd be fucked anyways if they're green, so what does it matter? Next up, let's talk about her specials. So I got here 2 specials, 2 ultimates that I would put on her. Basically, this one is if you're going for some offensive sort of build, like if you have a attack boon Ninian, who I've said numerous times now that Ninian does pretty low base damage even with an attack boon. I would leave that attacking role to other units, better suited for a task. But if you choose to do if you choose to have a attack build on her, I will understand, because she does magic damage, and that really shines at the melee range, because melee units have low resistance, generally speaking anyways, unless they are Pegasus Knights, in which case you might be a little bit screwed. But yeah, so if you want to do a offensive sort of build, Moonbow is pretty good. Do not have it with Lightning Breath, because it will raise the cooldown from 2 to 3 charges. That's not to say, oh, don't have it, it's taboo, but it's just not ideal. But personally, because I feel like she's a defensive sort of defensive support character, I would go for this thing. This Excachion, or whatever it's called. Basically, it makes you take less melee damage. Charges in 2 turns. It's basically another survival tool. So if you have all this crazy defensive stuff, and like on your skills, so if you have Ninian, a dragon with pretty bulky stats, she is probably not going to get doubled by stats alone, and she'll be very hard to double with skills. She's going to get doubled by Brave Lances, but she'll live. And on top of that, if you add all these defensive crazy stuff on her skills, as well as very top of the line, probably top of the game kind of, you know, assist skills like dance and like spear attack or hone attack or with whatever, like, and you know, you're gonna be very hard to kill because you're gonna be not taking much damage because not gonna get doubled, and when you do take hits, it's not for very much, and you have a substantial amount of HP pool for that anyways. And once you're kind of low HP, you're gonna be doing the teleportation dancing crazy crap. So yeah, we like say this green guy might be in line to kill you, but you're 50% HP, so you just run off to your red ally, and what can they do? They'll be like, oh duh, okay, well, gotta take care of that red guy first, but then color advantage will kill them. So, and plus your opponents, man, it's like it's not against a player, it's not PvP really, so just manipulate them a little bit and they'll have a hard time killing you. So yeah, this is the reason I would go for the defensive sort of build, is because you know, just to do like a cover thingy overall. What was it? Summary? Yeah, summary. Yeah, it's because she has rather low attack, even if she is attack boon. She is quite bulky. This can be further improved by putting the appropriate skills and customization stuff on her. She has dance. Only 3 units currently in the game has this ability that gives units an extra turn on the same turn that they have to turn. So, and these abilities cannot be passed and inherited to other characters. So she does low damage. Other units that do more damage, leave it to them. She can dance. She can give units extra turns. Other units that do more damage or can tank more, or you know, have better mobility or whatever, they cannot do the dancing thing. You don't see, there's no horse dances, there's no like Lucina dancing, crazy attack dance guy. Well, you know what, Azura does quite a bit of damage, but yeah, the dancing thing is very exclusive, so you want to keep to it, and the best way to keep to it is to have a defensive sort of build. Make sure you don't die. If you don't die, you can be there to support your allies, and if you support your allies, then they might not die. They'll die a lot less. And yeah, this is my reason for being quite biased to making a defensive oriented support character Ninian. So I think that about wraps things up. So whoa, don't want to scroll out of place. So yeah, that's my take on Ninian, the character, and you know, she is a very good unit in general. The bulkiest of dancers. Don't expect her to contribute to the damage side of things. But that's not to say she can't, but just don't make that your priority when you have her in your team. Like, oh man, why can't she kill like Lucina properly? Nah, it's not gonna happen. Oh, why can't she kill Hector? Nah, that's not gonna happen either. Just have Tiki do it or something. Yeah. Oh right. Forgot to mention, if you're running a dragon team, which is a little bit suicidal, but you know, you might want to do it for shits and giggles, or maybe just because you like dragon units. And I won't argue that, because I do have all the dragons myself, and I do want to make a dragon party myself one day. But if you're running a dragon team, she is pretty much a mainstay in the team, I might say, because she has that fortified dragon. And dragons with +6 defense and resistance on top of their very, very, very high defensive and resistance stats already is very horrifying, terrifying. They will kick even Falcion users' asses. I don't believe even 2 Falcion users will be able to take on 4 dragons or 3 dragons with, you know, the +6 defense and all that stuff. Especially now you with the sword breaker, that would just, yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video because I don't wanna ramble on and eventually go off topic as I have a bad habit of doing. So with that being said, I hope this video has been quite helpful, or maybe at least a little bit helpful. I hope this video did not turn out to be crazy length in time. I hope that my microphone skills have improved a little bit from the last video, and I intend to get a little bit more slicker in these videos. I think the only way to improve is just to keep doing it, honestly. Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, hope you guys like this. See you guys, catch you guys on the next one.